Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel. We talk about them in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here. This also happens to be Sci-Fi Sunday, where we talk about all things sci-fi, fantasy, and comic book related. But there's something else about today. Today is July 20th, and it is the official start of Discovery Channel's Shark Week. And if you're like me, you like to find a couple movies to watch on Shark Week that are shark themed. So here are 5 sci-fi shark movies that you may not have heard of. Okay, so if you're like me, you like Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, but you might want to watch some other shark-related stuff. Maybe you don't celebrate with just the Discovery Channel Shark Week material, or sometimes I don't even watch it. I just celebrate Shark Week by watching a lot of really strange shark movies, and there are a lot of them. And today we're going to take a look at some of the ones that you could watch this Shark Week to celebrate. And since it's Sci-Fi Sunday, all of these are sci-fi movies you may not have heard of. So first up is Land Shark from 2017. It is a film directed by Mark Polona, written by Mark Polona, starring Sarah French, Peter Baldo, and Catherine Sue Young. The premise of the movie is that Lucinda Regis, Director of Development at Malco Oceanic Research, becomes the target of a dangerous killer after unraveling a sinister plot to inject sharks with human DNA. Now, this movie is kind of weird. It's out there. The sharks are able to survive on land for a little bit. It's crazy, but it is the sort of weird sci-fi movie that you might find yourself enjoying if you're looking for something a little bit different this Shark Week to watch. Next up on our list is Cocaine Shark from 2023. An explosion at a lab lets loose onto the streets an army of murderous sharks and other creatures, and they are injected with a powerful new supplement. There's not a lot going on here. This movie is kind of just this really silly movie. The acting is not that fantastic. I don't know if it was intended to not be fantastic. It seems like a very low budget movie. But if you are into very low budget movies, the way sometimes I am, you might want to check this movie out. It's not that it's all that bad. It actually does have something that sort of appeals to fans of really low budget movies. You might find this to be your new kind of crazy, low budget, bad acting movie of choice. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it. Next up is Alien Shark from 2022. It's directed by Paul Tamborello, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, written by Aaron Jackson. It stars Brittany Adenbach, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name, Lucas Silva, and Rudin Brannon, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of their names. But here's the premise of the movie. When Alicia's friends throw her a military deployment party on an island, a meteor also happens to crash down into the dunes, and a massive alien shark targets the beach. Now Alicia must fight back to save the planet from a predator beyond the stars. And yeah, that is the premise of this movie. It's every bit as crazy as it sounds. It is a little bit low budget. Again, a lot of these movies on the sci-fi shark list will be lower budget. This one has some really cheap effects, and the acting is a lot better than Cocaine Shark. So you might find a little bit to enjoy here that you wouldn't have enjoyed about the other movie. But again, it is still sort of a low budget movie that doesn't really offer tons and tons. It's just a fun little ride. And again, who knows? Maybe this is what you've been looking for. Next up is Planet of the Sharks from 2016. Now this one is set in the near future. And it has some glacier melting that has covered 90% of the Earth's landmass. Sharks have flourished and now they dominate the planet. And they're led by one big, huge shark, an alpha shark. The director is Mark Atkins. The writers are Mark Gottlieb and Mark Atkins. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced the names. And it stars Brandon Arrett, Stephanie Barron, and Lindsay Sullivan. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names as well. Now, this movie seems like it's trying really hard to be a Planet of the Apes at times. And you'll see what I mean if you watch the movie. It really does kind of come across that way. However, they do make the sharks basically sharks. And they're not really these sentient horrible beings that are coming to destroy us. But it is sort of a really interesting movie. If you like a lot of shark action, this one's for you. And it has just enough sci-fi elements to be included into this list. I actually enjoyed this movie quite well because it doesn't let up. There's only one or two spots where it slows down just a little bit. So this may be the one. If you like a lot of shark action, do yourself a favor, maybe check this one out. Next up is one of the crazier ones on this list, Shark Side of the Moon from 2022. And the purpose of the movie is decades ago, the USSR developed unkillable sharks and launched them onto the moon. And today, a group of American astronauts is going up there and they will have to survive. Now, this movie is really sort of a weird little movie. It has a lot of craziness to it, but it is okay. I really thoroughly enjoyed this one, and it's a Tubi original movie. It is actually directed by Glenn Campbell and Tammy Klein. The writers are Ryan Ebert and Anna Russaman. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced those names. Mark Whitrack, Ego McTius, and Tanya Fox star. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of their names as well. But this movie is everything you could ask for. It is just cheesy enough to work. I think that a lot of times the effects work in this movie and they're somewhat okay. I thoroughly did enjoy this movie, and I would give this one a try if I was you. This might actually be your favorite on this list, but that is entirely up to you guys. It is not up to me to say which one of these movies you would like the best. I just figured that I would give you an alternative to just watching Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. Instead, you could find some sci-fi shark movies that you might enjoy. Don't shoot the messenger, but I would like to hear whether or not you like these movies or hate these movies. So make sure you are leaving me a comment and let me know what you thought. And are there any movies I should have included here that I didn't? Any sci-fi shark movies that you would recommend? Because I love being recommended new movies that I may not have seen. I love it when people give me recommendations that I can then check out. So if there's one that you can think of that's a sci-fi related shark movie that's not Sharknado, because I've seen every single one of those, that I didn't put on this list, then go ahead and leave that in the comments. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation as well. Then make sure you hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel. We really do appreciate it. And Miko says we need more subscribers. So you're going to want to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to disappoint Miko. So while you're hitting that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video we do. And friends, at the end of the day, I know it and you know it and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.